Take us with you. The Voice alums and married couple Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton just took a gorgeous trip to the Ozarks to spend some family time with Stefani's son Zuma, 16, and Apollo, 11. She also has oldest son, 18-year-old Kingston. For their trip, the foursome stayed at the Big Cedar Lodge in Branson, Missouri, which bills itself as a luxury resort with nature golfing amenities. Something tells us Shelton definitely took advantage of that option. In her video, Stefani showed the family enjoying activities like exploring caves and golf carts, visiting a scenic church, dining on specialty foods with custom menus, and of course, taking in the outdoors. Such an unforgettable time at the flowers, the food, the family memories. Thank you for making it all so special. GX Stefani wrote on Instagram, setting the video montage to Purple Irises, her love song with Shelton. Shelton loves the stepdad life. Stefani shares her kids with her ex-husband, rocker Gavin Rossdale, but Shelton takes his duties as a bonus parent very seriously. I think being a stepdad has changed my perspective in that I'm not the first person that I think about anymore, the singer told Access. Even to the small little things when you go, I think I'll do this. The very next thought is always, well, wait a minute. How's that going work? Or, what will they think? Or, how will that affect a schedule? For a very long time, the Ozarks have been a haven for families who are looking for both adventure and connection. The Ozarks are known for its rolling hills, glistening lakes, and rustic charm. The choice that Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani made to take their three sons, Kingston, Zuma, and Apollo, on a trip to this Midwest gem for a family vacation was nothing short of a stroke of inspiration. After exchanging the flash of Hollywood and the twang of Nashville for a week of unplugged, unforgettable moments in the gorgeous countryside of Missouri, the pair, who are known for their whirlwind courtship and mixed family dynamic, decided to take a break from both destinations. As the journey progressed, it turned out to be one that was full of laughing, bonding, and memories that would remain with them long after they had gone home. While they were enjoying a peaceful evening at their ranch in Oklahoma, the concept for the Ozarks escape came to them. Blake, who had always been drawn to the great outdoors, was thinking back on fishing trips he had taken when he was younger. In a tone that was tinged with melancholy, he had expressed his sentiments by saying, "There's something about being out on the water, just you and the quiet." Upon hearing the suggestion, Gwen, who is always ready for an excursion that has the potential to bring her boys closer to nature and to Blake's roots, became quite excited. It was with a gleam in her eyes that she stated, "Let's do it. I propose that we take the boys to a place where they can simply be children." It was then that the idea was established. A week in the Ozarks, where the family would be able to trade screens for sunsets and schedules for spontaneity throughout the week. They decided to stay at a large cabin that was located along the banks of Table Rock Lake. Blake had heard rave reviews about this location from his pals. Despite its rustic appearance, the cabin was warm and inviting, featuring a wraparound porch that provided breathtaking views of the river and a fire pit that was ideal for making s'mores late at night. The boys sprang out of the SUV as soon as they arrived, and their excitement could be felt across the room. The eldest, Kingston, who was 19 years old at the time, was already looking at the dock for possible fishing areas. The laughing of Zuma, 17, and Apollo, 11, could be heard reverberating through the trees as they raced to the porch. During the process of unloading suitcases, Gwen leaned against Blake while wearing her typical red lipstick, which she had replaced with a casual ponytail and sunglasses. "I think this is going to turn out well," she muttered. With a grin on his face, Blake tipped his cowboy hat. "There is no doubt about that." An excursion to go fishing was Blake's first order of business on the first morning, and he did not make any exceptions. The family boarded a pontoon boat that they had rented, all of them armed with fishing rods, bait, and a cooler full of munchies. After spending years navigating the rivers of Oklahoma, Blake took the wheel, and his ease on the water was a credit to his experience. In the meantime, Kingston and Zuma fought to see who could cast further than the other. Gwen, who had less experience but was always enthusiastic, assisted Apollo in baiting his hook. The lake was a reflection of blue, and it was surrounded by hills that were covered in forest. The air carried the aroma of pine and the prospect of something. When Apollo's line pulled with his first catch, which was a writhing bass, he squealed so loudly that Gwen almost dropped her phone, which she had been using to take pictures. Apollo was able to reel it in with the assistance of Blake, and the pride that was seen on the boy's face was higher than the sun in the morning. "That's him, my boy," Blake yelled out and gave him a high five. Gwen was able to capture the occasion on camera, and her heart swelled with excitement as she witnessed her youngest child spending time with his stepfather. There was more than just fishing to experience. As a playground for thrill seekers, the Ozarks are a playground, and the family jumped headfirst into the opportunities that were available. On a particular day, they participated in a zipline course that was designed to wind through the canopy. The lads showed their excitement by shrieking as they flew through the treetops. Gwen, who is known for her fearlessness, was the first to go, and her laughter could be heard as she zipped past. After some prodding, Blake, who acknowledged to having a small fear of heights, followed suit. His good-natured complaining earned him mocking from the lads. Blake's fear of heights was slight. "Come on, cowboy, you've been in front of more difficult crowds than this." While smiling, Zuma called out. Even Blake was fascinated by the time it was over, and he was competing with Kingston to see who could reach the landing platform with more artistic flair. One of the most memorable experiences was a cave tour at Silver Dollar City, a theme park located nearby that combines the allure of the past with the excitement of the present. The boys were enthralled by the stalactites and echoing caverns that were found within the Marvel Cave, which was a vast, deep subsurface wonder. Apollo's imagination was running wild as he muttered queries about bats and hidden treasure while he was holding Gwen's hand. Blake, who is known for his ability to tell stories, told a narrative about a mythical bandit who was hiding treasure in the depths of the cave. This story caused Zuma and Kingston to debate whether or not they could sneak back to the cave to look for the gold. Gwen caught Blake's attention and mouthed, "You're ridiculous," but her smile showed the fact that she was amused by the situation. The amusement park itself was a hit as well. Roller coasters like as Outlaw Run had the older boys clamoring for more rides, and Apollo clung to Blake when they were riding a train that was more gentle, giggling at every whistle throughout the ride. During the evenings, they would relax and unwind, and the cabin would become their safe haven. Gwen, who is a natural nurturer, took control of the meals and prepared hearty dinners with the assistance of the boys. For example, one night she made chili and cornbread, and another night she made tacos. When it came to slicing vegetables, Kingston showed a surprising level of expertise, but Zuma's attempts to flip tortillas had everyone in fits of laughter. While this was going on, Blake proclaimed himself to be the chief grill master, and he was handling the BB key while holding a drink. Following the meal, they would congregate around the fire pit, where the sound of the crackling flames would blend with the buzzing of the cicadas, while Kingston and Zuma cooked marshmallows to the ideal golden brown. Blake played his guitar and taught Apollo a few chords. Meanwhile, Blake was learning how to play the guitar, and spontaneous sing-along was led by Gwen, who was cuddled up under a blanket. Her voice blended with Blake's in a harmony that made it feel like they were singing at home. When they performed Sweet Caroline together one evening, the boys' off-key exuberance made it the greatest rendition of the song that they had performed so far. The journey was not devoid of difficulties in any way. When it comes to adolescents and pre-teens, things aren't always easy, and there were times when they argued with one another. For example, Zuma took the best kayak, while Kingston rolled his eyes at Apollo's never-ending questioning. The situation was handled with grace by Blake and Gwen, who are seasoned in the art of handling their blended family. They would redirect the situation by using humor or a new activity, such as going on a walk to a hidden waterfall where the boys could splash around and reset themselves when the tensions were rising. Gwen's patience and Blake's laid-back aura created a rhythm that kept everyone grounded. This rhythm was created by the two of them working together. What made the trip genuinely unforgettable, however, was the way in which it strengthened their relationship with one another. The Ozarks were a revelation for Gwen's sons, who had been brought up in the fast-paced urban environment of Los Angeles. They were given the opportunity to observe Blake's world through his eyes. They got a glimpse of the man who was hiding behind the country star while they were fishing with him and listening to his stories about growing up in rural Oklahoma. The trip provided Blake with the opportunity to completely assume his role as stepfather, which required him to be more than simply a pleasant presence, but also a solid one. Moreover, for Gwen, witnessing her sons flourish in this new environment, laughing with Blake and with each other, was a blessing that cannot be measured. In the waning hours of the week, the family went out for one more boat ride at sunset one last time. The sky was ablaze with orange and pink hues, and the lake reflected them vividly like a picture. During the time that Kingston and Zuma were chatting with Blake about their fishing totals, Apollo was snoozing on Gwen's shoulder, comfortable despite his sleepiness. Gwen reached out and softly squeezed Blake's hand as she reached for it. She murmured in a hushed tone, "We did well, didn't we?" Blake nodded, his eyes appearing gentle. "This is the best trip I've ever had, darling." When the lads returned home, they could not stop talking about their time in the Ozarks, including the fish they caught, the caves they explored, and the evenings they spent by the fire. On the refrigerator, Gwen displayed a photograph that was taken during the trip. The photograph depicted all five of them smiling and holding hands on the pier. In the morning, when Blake was walking past, he stopped to have a look at it. "Unforgettable," he said out loud, and he wasn't simply referring to the natural beauty of the location. The Ozarks had added a new chapter to the story of this family, one that was filled with love, excitement, and the kind of experiences that will be with them for the rest of their lives.